Okay. So till now, I think callback functions are done. So we know already what a callback function does and how it is used, right? So today we'll see some array methods, like what to say. We have done array iteration using for loops, isn't it? But we have a better way to do all those things. To iterate through an array, we have better ways. Those are known as array iteration methods. Okay, using array iteration methods, you can do the same things done by for loop, but with less syntax, less coding. Okay, okay, let's start. So first we'll see what does a callback function look like. So let me write here array iteration.html. Okay. Okay. So let's say we have an first we have a function ABC or function sum. So this is a function. This function can have a callback function inside it. How? Like this. A comma B comma another function. That means a function which is passed as a parameter to another function is known as callback, which is actually an argument to a function is called callback function. Let's say I, instead of having ABC, I can have a function here as function. So here the function can have a name or it may not have a name. Okay, so the callback function doesn't matter whether it has a name or not. So it is better to use, because that function name we will never use it. This parent function sum will never use the name. Okay, so that's why we can use anonymous functions there. So it is better to use anonymous functions there. So let's say I have a function here, callback function, and I will write here what to say, return hello, something like that. Okay, we can write like that. So, and what happened here? Did I do anything wrong? Okay, this was the mistake, I think. Just let me check once what happened. So this starts here. Okay, so here I'll have the function keyword. So it is not taking it as a parameter name, but that should not happen. Okay, what we can do with callback functions is we can also write like this. We have another function print. Okay, so this print function, let's say we have console.log of hello. Okay, this print can be passed here. Okay, so in this way what will happen, this this is the function name. This function name, when I pass it here, it is pointing to this whole function. So this whole function can be accessed from inside this function. Okay, so I can write here console.log of a, and then console.log of b. And what about print? I can call the print directly from here. So let's say I write it like this. Okay, now I will call which function? Not this function. I will call this function, inside which automatically print will be executed. Okay, so what do I do to call that? I call sum, isn't it? So in the sum I pass in the sum I have to pass the parameter arguments. That is the value for a, value for b. Okay, so and this print also I can just write fun. Okay, because this function actually doesn't know what is the function name. That also will pass it in this sum only. Okay, so for the a I pass hi. Okay, for b I'll pass some name Sam, and then the third parameter should be what? According to this function definition, it should be a function. If I pass here welcome, welcome will come to fun and it will try to execute the fun. It will call the fun. So if it is welcome, it will not be executed. So that means we have to pass something which is a function. So what function I'll pass? I'll pass the print. Okay, so print. So now what will happen? Save this and run this. So I get here hi Sam, hello. How did it happen? Hi was coming from here, it was immediately printed. Sam was passed from here, it was immediately printed. And in the third part we passed this whole function. When this whole function got passed, it was called inside this function, isn't it? So we are passing this function as a parameter to this function definition, and we are passing this function as an argument to the function call. Okay, so these kind of functions are known as callback functions, right? Okay, so we'll see some things like, let's say I have an array where AR is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now let's say I have a function which takes an array as an argument, and what happened here? Identifier action. Okay, so I'll put a name here. So let's say print array. Okay, fine. So what this print array function does? It prints the first element of the array. Then what I need to do? Write console.log of what? Console.log of what do I need to do if I want to print the first element? Not AR of 0. This is part of an array. The argument, the parameter is array. Then what I have to do? Console.log of array of 0. Okay. So if I pass this array to this print array function, what will happen? It will take this AR as array and it will do array of 0, isn't it? Okay. Now we'll have a parent function, that is the higher order function. So the name of the function is function something like print text or print first element. Okay, print first element. So this function will take one string, so let's say str, and it will take this print array function. Okay, so str and fun, it will take two things. What it will do? it will first print the str. So console.log of str plus, okay, let me print console.log of str first, and then I'll call this function fun. Are you getting it? What I'm doing? This print first element function, what it is doing, it is print taking two arguments. First argument is a string, second argument is a function. So what it is doing, it is taking the string and directly printing it. And then what it is doing to the function, it will have also one function, it will execute the function. That's it. Okay. So here what I'll do is, I'll call this, how I'll call this function, just I'm having the print first element function, I'll call it. So how many arguments I have to pass here? 2. What is the first argument? str. What is str? Str means a string. So that means I have to pass a string. Okay. So let me pass a string here. The first element is like this. This is the first. Then what is the second parameter? Second argument I have to pass? That should be a function. What function I want to pass? I want to pass print array. Okay. So what I'll do? Print array, and if I pass directly, what will happen? Can I pass this array there? Okay, let me put this array inside this. So there is no argument here, and here I'll just make it as AR of 0. Is this function printing the first element? Isn't it? It is printing the first element. It is doing nothing else. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll pass this function. When I pass this here, what will happen? It will call this function and do this on its own. Isn't it? So now let's save this, go to the browser and reload. What I got? The first element is 1. Okay. So this way, callback functions can be used on arrays and all. Okay. Fine. Okay. Now we'll see some examples. So yeah, so let's say we have an array where AR is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So to print all the elements of the array, what did we do? We write for where I is equal to 0, I less than is equal to AR dot length minus 1, I plus plus. And what do I do after that? I write console.log of what? AR over. So this gives us all the values of the array printed in the console. Okay. So this can be done with a better method. Instead of writing all these for loops, we have a method for arrays called forEach. Okay. So what does that forEach method do? So just see, I'll comment this for loop for now. We'll not use the for loop. We'll rather use the forEach method. Okay. So what do I write? First thing is I have to write the name of the array. What is the name of the array? AR. AR dot then forEach. So how do I write the forEach? F is small, E is capital. Okay. forEach, and this forEach will pass only one argument. In the previous example, small examples, I have shown you that each method is I have shown one string as an argument, function as an argument, many things as an argument, right? But here we'll pass only one argument. What is that? What argument I'll pass? One function. Okay, we'll pass one function. Now, just see how do I pass that. So AR dot forEach, and here I'll write function. Okay, one function I have to pass, and it will be an anonymous function. Okay, in this function 3 parameters will be. Okay, inside this function 3 parameters will be. First parameter I will name it as value. Value means AR of I. So that means first time what will be the value of what will be the value of this value? 1. That means AR of I is 1. Second time value will become 2. Third time value will become 3. Fourth time value will become 4. Fifth time value will become 5. Second parameter is index. What will be the index for the first time? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Third parameter is something called array. That means the whole array. So first time what will be the value of array? How one? I said array. What is the array? Whole array. I said the value of array is whole array. That means array will be, for the first time array will be what? I'm saying whole array. What is the whole array? AR equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That will be the value for array. Second time also it will be the same. So it will not change. This value and index will change in each iteration. AR of 0, AR of 1, AR of 2, just like for loop. But this array will be constant. This whole array will be the value for this array. Okay, it will never change. So in this function, I'm not executing any line, isn't it? So if I do here console.log of, if I want to print each value, then what do I do? Console.log of value, index, or array. Here 3 things are there. See, inside a function, when we write a function, see this. First see this. In a function, if I want to do something, we always use these parameters. Other than that, we don't do anything. Okay, we'll use only P1 or P2 if I want to do something. In the same way, in this function also, if I want to do something here, I have to use any one of these, not something else. So if I want to print each value, then what do I do? If I write console.log of what? Will I do AR of 0? No, I have to use something from here. Out of these 3 things, which one I will use here? Why array? If I write array, what will happen? What is the meaning of array? I said array, the meaning of array is the whole array. I want to print each value. Then I have to use value. No, I told you in the beginning that value means AR of 0 for the first time. For printing this, you write console.log of AR of I. So same thing I have to do here. Here I already told you that value means AR of I, isn't it? Index means I. Array means this AR. See here in this for loop, let me show you. I write console.log of AR of I. Just 1 second. Okay, so I write here console.log of AR of I. I write console.log of I, and I write console.log of array. Means it 3 things. What is this? This is each value. What is this? Index. What is this? Whole array. So if I save this and run this code, what will happen? Okay.
Sir, even I got same results output.
So, sorry, what did you say? Hello?
Even I got the same error, sir. Array iteration.html and got references.
That was because I had done some mistake. I had done written here array. That's why. So you have to write here AR because AR is
For
defined.
previous one also same, sir.
Which one? Here.
No,
Here I'm not.
before we have done for this. Like
I'm not.
first element, print
I'm.
array in
I'm.
first element.
I'm not getting any error now.
No, before this we have done one more thing, no, sir. Like
Which one?
function array.
Huh.
For that one also I have got the same error. Print
Okay.
first element, and the first element is the first array.
Okay. So paste the code in the chat. I will check and tell you. Okay.
Yeah, I have WhatsApp you, sir.
Okay. Fine. So what happened? So what is happening here? When I'm writing console.log of AR of I, I'm getting each value. When I'm writing console.log of I will getting index. When I'm writing console.log AR, I am getting whole array. Isn't it? If I want to print each element, if I write AR, how it will work? If I write AR, I will get the whole array, right? So same thing is happening here. The for each is taking three values. First thing is AR of I. Second thing is I. Third thing is whole AR. Okay. So what do I write here? To print each value, I have to write here value. So if I do value, what will happen? It is printing each value. Okay. So let me write something like this. AR dot for each is taking another function as argument. Inside this function, we have three parameters: value, index, and array. And if I want to print the value, I'll do console.log of value. If I write here console.log of index, what output I will get? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, isn't it? It will print every time. If there are 10 elements, it will print 10 times. Okay. If I write here array, what I will get? I'll get the array how many times? 5 times. For each time it will, for each element it will print it. Okay. Whatever I do, whatever value I check, if I take value, it will print value 5 times. If I take index, it will print index 5 times. And if I take array, it will print array 5 times. Okay. So this is how you can print all these things. If I want to print only the even values, then so again I have to write here the condition. Okay. If what? If what is the condition? Earlier in for loop, what do we write here? If
AR of I mod plus 2 equal to 0.
What? Why AR? AR is the array. AR of I. So in for loops, we have to write AR of I modulus 2 equal to 0. That will be the condition for loops. But now we are using for each. That is a array method. So instead of AR of I, what I will write? Instead of AR of I, what I will write? Value. So directly we can write value because value means AR of I, isn't it? So here, if that is satisfied, only then print it, isn't it? So console.log of what? Value, because there we wrote AR of I, isn't it? In for loop we have to write AR of I. So here I will write value. Whenever you are writing AR of I in for loop, we will write here value. So now let's check this. Save it, reload. I got 2 and 4. Okay. If I write not equal to 0, 1, 3, and 5. Okay. So this is how we can use the for each for iteration instead of for loops. Okay. I hope it is clear. And for finding the sum of all the values, what I will do? I'll take one where sum equal to 0, isn't it? Then sum equal to sum plus value. Instead of a or y, I'll write value. Okay, but after doing this, we have to print the sum, right? What can be done for that? So I can put this sum outside. Okay, now sum value will be updated, isn't it? After the function method is completed, we can do console.log of sum. Okay, so I got 15. 5 plus 4 9, 9 plus 3 12, 12 plus 2 is 14, plus 1 15. Okay, I hope it is clear. So these all methods, all functions you have to do using for each. First question, that is the first assignment. Everything should be done with for each. Okay, okay, fine. So this whole thing I wanted today. Okay, not only with for each, because see, not much questions are there. Okay, already these are done. You have to replace the for loop with for each. That's it. Okay, now there is so now what is happening? So this for each method is doing all these operations, but there is another form of for each that is not for each, but it is a modified version of for each. This for each method, if I write here, let's say where, let me go to our previous example where we did just console.log. So what was this doing? What is this function doing? Printing all the values, right? Now this ar.forEach method is not returning any value. Do you see that? That means here if I write where x is equal to ar.forEach, and if I write here console.log of x, what I will get? If a function is not returning anything, what do we get?
Undefined.
Undefined. If it is not returning anything, we get undefined. Okay, so there is another method called map method, array.map. Okay, that map method will return something. Let's see. So let me write here, instead of for each, I'll write a map. Okay, map is a method, array method that does the same thing what for each is doing. Okay, there is no difference between for each and map, but the only difference between for each and map is for each will not return anything, map will return something. What is that something? What does it return? We have to see that. So I save this, go to the browser, reload it. What did I get? One array with undefined, 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 undefined. Okay, so why that thing is happening? Because when you use the map method, see, for each was not returning any value. Why? Because there was no return statement, isn't it? Got it? For each was not returning anything because there was no return statement. To return something, we must have the return statement. We saw it yesterday. If whenever I didn't use the return statement, it was returning undefined, isn't it? So here we have to have a return statement. So what return statement I'll have? Instead of this console.log of value, I'll write a returned value. Okay, I'm returning what? Value. But this is a loop. ar.map is a loop. You know that? Because it is just like for each. I told you, for each will execute it how many times? 5 times. So map will also execute it 5 times. Now this return value, first time it will return what? 1. So it will return how many times? 5 times. So how this 5 times value will be shown by x? Because if I write console.log of x, it will be confused, right? It has to show 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. What? It doesn't know, isn't it? So this map method is very special. What it does is it will take all the values. When I'm writing return value, it will take one value and put it in an array. It will take the next value. What is the next value? 2. It will again put it in the array. So now the array contains what? 1 and 2. Next time 3, 4, 5. This new array that is created, the what is that array having? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. New array. New array will have first 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. It will return that new array. Okay. So if I write here console.log of x, I'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. If I write here index, what will be there in the new array? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 will be inside the array. See this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So this way, map method, what it does is it not only executes the functionality but also returns an array which contains whatever we have written there. Okay. Now, and if I do return array, what will happen? The whole array will contain 5 arrays. See, it contains 5 arrays. At 0, 1 array is there, 1 array is there, like that. Okay. So this is how the map method can be used. So let's say I want to do something like I have the values, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to multiply 10 to each value. That means what should be the first value, second value, third value, fourth value, 40, and fifth value 50. Okay. So I write return value into 10. So what will happen? It will do value into 10. First time, what is value into 10? 10. It will put the 10 in one array. Initially, it takes one empty array. First time value is 1. 1 into 10 is 10. So it will put the 10 into the array. Next time the value is 2. 2 into 10 is 20. So it will put 20 into the array. See, remember this, it will never change this array. Okay, it will always create new array. Okay, so after 20 it will take 3. 3 into 10 is 30. After 3 it will take 4. 4 into 10 is 40. After 4 it will take 5. 5 into 10 is 50. Okay, so this is the new array, not the original array. So let me do something here, console.log of AR and console.log of X. So what will be in AR? Original array. So it will not change it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What will be in X? New array. What is there in new array? 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. Okay. Save it, go to the browser, reload it. We can see the original array is not changed, but the new array is changed. We have got whatever changes we wanted. Okay. So there is a question here. Reduce each element of an array by 25% and store it in a separate array. So for that, what you have to do, you have to take each value and do minus of 25%, and it will return that value and put it in a new array. Okay, that is to be done by you. Okay, fine. Increment 5% of all the salaries in a given array. So suppose 10 salaries are there, 80,000, 70,000, 30,000, 50,000, 1,20,000. All these values you have to increment 5% and put it into new array. Okay, so these things you have to do using the map method. Okay, okay, fine. Then Then what else can be done with map? We have seen we can print each value, we can change each value. Okay, so this way, for any kind of for loop, you will use either for each or map. You will use map only when you want a new array. If you don't want a new array, no need to use map. For each is enough. Okay, so from now onwards, you will never use for loop for arrays. Okay, we will either use for each if you just want to execute something and print it, or if you want a new array. So when do we want a new array? When I say something like this, reduce each element of the array by 25%. Okay, I'm not asking you to print or something. I just want a new array which is having modified values. Okay, so in that case, you have to use map. Okay, otherwise, if I just say print all values using print all values in an array, print all numbers in an array except the first element, so this is little bit difficult, but you can do if you use an if condition, that also can be done. Okay, so all these things can be done with for each, no need of map. Okay, but for this kind of things where we want an array in the output, then we need map method. Okay, fine. Now let us tell something to this one. Now what was there? We have done print each value, right? Now
Sir,
print
exact difference between for each and map.
that's what I told you. For each will not return anything, and the map method will return an array. Okay, otherwise there is no difference, everything is same. Okay, yeah. Okay, now
Sir,
using
what is the new array name?
new array name will be whatever you give here. Okay,
So that
new
is
array x, here x, that's why in x I am getting the new array. If I write here Hari, I'll get the new array in Hari. If I write new array, I'll get the new array in new array. Okay, so
Yes.
whatever name you want to give, you can give to the new array by assigning it to a variable. Okay,
Yes. Yes.
so whatever be the variable name, it will be the new array. Okay, now tell me, in the map method, I want to print only the even numbers. Then what do I do? For printing the even numbers, what we did for each if condition, isn't it? So if what?
Value
Value
modulus 2
modulus 2
triple.
to 0, then return. Okay, in map method we will always use return, isn't it? Return what? Value. Okay, so what will happen now? What does map method do? I told you initially it takes on empty array. Then what will be pushed to the array? 2 and 4. It will not push the 1, 3 and 5. Okay, so now what will be there in console.log of new array? In this array
1, 4.
2 and 4. Okay, and AR will remain unchanged, it will be the same. Save it, go to the browser and reload. See what happened here? We got undefined also in between. So there's a small problem using the map. If this is the thing, it return 2 and 4. Okay, then we can write directly this. Using the map, it is expecting only the return statement. That is not asking for those things. So what I can do is return value modulus 2 0. Can I do this? So it is giving me so it is returning that condition. Then what can be done? So in this situation, the map method is failing. Can you see? The map method is able to print each value, multiply 10 to each value, add 100 to each value also, isn't it? But it is unable to check the condition for each value. Okay. So what can be done for that? For that, JavaScript is having a backup method known as filter method. Okay. Filter method is an upgraded version, not an upgraded version, but to handle conditions, there is a filter method. Okay. Because map method is not able to handle the condition. We have seen just now. Even if I am telling it to print only the even values, it is printing all values. When it is not able to check it, it is directly giving undefined. Okay. So what we wrote for the previous case, just see. Sorry, it will not give me now. Okay. Fine. So what method we have is, we have a method called filter method. Okay. So what will this filter method do? It doesn't need all these if conditions and all. Inside the if, whatever you write for printing even numbers, what is the condition we use? We write if value modulus 2 equal to 0, then we do console.log of arrow y, something like that, right? So here we want only the condition. What is the condition? Value modulus 2 equal to y equal to 0, isn't it? So filter method will, in the filter method we will write return the condition. That's it, nothing else. What is the condition? Return value modulus 2 equal to 0. We need to pass the condition, and sometimes if you are more confused, you can put whole thing in a parenthesis. Okay. So what will this filter method do? It will take this condition and it will check each value for this condition, and it will put everything in a new array. So first, for the first time, it will take one empty array. Then what will be the first value to be put inside the array? 2, because 1 will not be put, because 1 is not satisfying this condition. Then after 2, it will take 4. Okay. So in new array, what will be there? 2, 4. Save this, go to the browser, reload. You can see we have 2 and 4. Okay. So this is the thing that can be done with map method. But forEach can do everything. Sorry. Yeah, it cannot be done by map method, I'm saying. But forEach can do everything. forEach can do filtering, it can print each value, but it doesn't return anything. That is the main problem with forEach. Okay. So to make these things better, what we do is, if there is no condition and we want to return something, we use the map method. If there is a condition and we want to return something, we use the filter method. Okay. Now here, if the condition I give like this, I'll get 1, 3 and 5. Okay. So this way you can check for any condition. Okay. Whatever conditional questions are there, these all conditional questions will be done with filter method. Okay. Wherever you have used if, all the if questions, you can replace the if statement with filter methods. Okay. So let's say, for example, these things, last index to first index except the last element, except the first element. There you have to check for the condition, right? If the condition, if the I value is greater than 1, only then print it, something like that. Okay, those things can be done. Then let me check once. Return index greater than or equal to 1. What will happen now? What will be there in the new array? See, 2, 3, 4, 5. I didn't get the first value. It is checking where the index is greater than or equal to 1. Only then print it. Otherwise, don't return. So in the array, it is not pushing the 1. It is pushing 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means except the first element, this question can be done with filter method, isn't it? So these questions you will do with forEach, map, as well as filter. Okay, all can be done. So wherever there was a if condition like greater than the given number, print values that are greater than the given number. Let's say I'll take this value, I'll put it here. Okay, if the given number is 20, the output should be this, right? So what is the condition I have to write here? Return what? Value greater than 20. Okay, because it is 20, given number is 20, then output should be 23, 34 and 54, right? I should get 23, 34 and 54 here, isn't it? So let's check this. Yes, I got 23, 34 and 54. Okay, just like the map method, filter method also doesn't change the original array. Okay, it will remain the same. So this way you can filter out the values greater than 20, values greater than any number. So the whole if statement is reduced. See, in the map and for each method, the whole for loop was removed. Without the for loop, we were writing. In the filter method, for loop and the if else both are removed. So this is easier or not? Less lines of code. We are writing only one line, that is return value greater than 20. That's it. We are not writing the for each, we are not writing the if condition also. Okay, so this way the code can be reduced. Okay, then what other questions we have? Print all the odd numbers, print all the even numbers. Okay, positive numbers. These things can be all done. So odd even already seen. Okay, fine. Okay, now to print the sum of all the elements, what we did in for each, we used a variable sum where sum equal to 0, isn't it? And then we write sum equal to sum plus something. Okay, so for that also we have a method here that is known as a reduce method, but the reduce method is little bit different than map, filter and for each. What it does is, this syntax is little bit different. The inner function syntax is little bit different. So let me write a fresh code so that you are not confused. So let's say I have something like this. AR dot what? So again we'll have an array. So a reduce method will also return an array. Okay. So I'll write here, let's say sum. Okay. Where sum is equal to AR dot reduce. Okay. This reduce takes two things. What was the for each, map and filter taking? Value index. That is not value index. AR dot map, filter and reduce was taking what? It was taking another function. AR dot filter was not taking value index. It was taking one function, isn't it? What is this function called? Callback function. Anonymous function, that is correct, but that is a callback function, because this filter is actually a function. We are calling the function. We are writing filter bracket and then semicolon. That means what? We are calling the filter method. Inside the filter method, we are passing another function. So we had one callback function. So now in a reduce, what happens is, in reduce, the callback function, earlier what we were passing only the callback function. But in reduce, we pass two things. Not always. Again, the callback function is mandatory. Like this, function something, right? And we have one optional parameter here, that is known as initial value. We write where sum equal to 0. So that is the initial value for sum. Okay. If I don't put that sum equal to 0, what will happen? Sum will have undefined. It will try to add undefined, and not a number will get. So that initial value is necessary, isn't it? Like that, we have one initial value here. Initial value. You can pass, or if you don't pass, what happens? If you pass, what happens? We have to see that. Okay. First, we will start with when we don't pass anything. We have only the callback function. This callback function, earlier the callback function, how many parameters it was having? 3. What are those 3 parameters?
Value, index, array.
Value, index, and the whole array, isn't it? So here also value, index, and whole array will be there. Along with that, we have something called in the beginning accumulator. Okay, there will be one accumulator. So in the previous case, array.map, we write something like this, right? Where new array is equal to ar.map of function value value, index, and array, isn't it? And so these things will run a number of times, not one time, isn't it? So what is the value for the first time? For 23. Second time 34. Third time 54. Fourth time 10. Then 4 and 7, isn't it? But here what happens is, accumulator contains the first value 23. So that means for the first time, what is the value? The value is 34. Okay. Here value starts from 23, then 34, then 54, then 10, then 4 and 7. But here what happens? Accumulator always contains the first value. From second time, accumulator will not contain the first value. That means it will change according to what we do inside the function. Inside the function, we do something so that the accumulator will change. Okay. But this value, what is the value of value? For the first time, this value will be second item. Second time, the value will be third item. Third time, the value will be 10, then 4, then 7. Okay. So here, for the first time, value is 23. But here, the value is 34. Okay. Now, how do we find the sum of all the values? Let me show you. So I write here, I'll take smaller values so that we can check whether it is correct or not. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So as I told you, accumulator will contain which value? What is it? 1. What will be there in value? 2. Okay. Now just see here. I write here accumulator is equal to accumulator plus value, isn't it? So what will happen? What will be the for the first time? What will be the accumulator value? No. One, that is okay. But after this line, what will happen?
3.
So it will become 1 plus 2, isn't it? And what will be stored in accumulator? 3. So 3 is stored in accumulator. Second time, what will happen? 3 plus
Value 4.
So what is the value? 3 is the accumulator. 3 plus
4.
3. How 4? It will be 3, na?
Yeah.
Value is, for the first time it is 2. Second time the value is 3. Third time the value is 4. And fourth time the value is 5.
5.
Okay. So for the first time it went to 1 plus 2. So 3 was stored in accumulator. Now 3 plus 3 will happen. So 6 will be stored. Now for the next time, what will happen?
6 plus 4.
6 plus 4. That means 10. Then after that,
10 plus 5.
10 plus 5. So totally 15 will be stored in accumulator. Okay. And this accumulator will be returned to sum. Okay. So we don't write it like this. What we do is we write something like this. We write a return accumulator plus value. Okay. So what will happen here? Save it. And I do console.log of sum. So here I am not writing accumulator equal to accumulator plus value, because I just wanted to show you what happens. That's why I wrote like that. But here what will happen? First time accumulator plus value will be 1 plus 2. Next time 3 plus 3. Next time 6 plus 4. Next time 10 plus 5. So it will repeat it. Save it, go to the browser and reload. What I got here? I got here 15. And if you notice here, it is not coming as an array. Can you see? Earlier the map filter methods were giving us array when we wrote return. So what this reduce method is doing, it is reducing all elements into one value. Okay, that's why its name is reduce. And it will not output it as an array. It will give one single value. If it is number, if it is string, string. If it's join too many strings, it will give you one string, right? A plus P plus L plus E, apple. It will give one string. So this way, the reduce method can be used to find the sum of the numbers when we don't give the optional value that I shown you in the beginning. Okay, optional value will come after the function. When I don't give the optional value, this is the behavior. Okay, but when we give the optional value, total system will change. Now I'll show you what happens when I put the initial value as something. What happens? Here we have seen what is the value for the first time? 2, not 1. Who takes the 1? Accumulator. Okay, that is very important. You have to understand that. Here accumulator takes the first value and the second value will be taken by value for the first time. Second time, value will become third value. Fourth time, value will become fourth value. Fifth time, value will become that 5. Okay, like that. So here it will go only 4 times. First 2 is the value, 3 is the value, 4 is the value, 5 is the value. Okay. Now let's see what will happen if we have a extra value here. Okay. So so how do we do that is, let me remove this line. And where is the function starting? It is starting from here and ending here, right? This parenthesis, the outer parenthesis is of reduce, not functions, isn't it? So after the function is complete, after the closing bracket of the function is there, that means this curly brace. After that, we need to place one comma. So why do we need the initial value? here what was the initial value of the accumulator before running the code? It was actually 0. Okay, before running this code it was 0. When I start this code, what happens? Immediately accumulator is taking 1 actually. But suppose I want the initial value as something else. I don't want to directly add it. That means we wrote where sum equal to 0 for adding all the numbers. If we write sum equal to 100, what will happen? Initially where sum equal to 100. Then in the for loop we will write sum equal to sum plus arrow y. So that means 100 plus arrow y. It will not do 0 plus arrow y. So that means the sum of all these numbers is 15. If I put sum equal to 100 in the initially, the total answer will be 115, isn't it? Initial value is 100 plus all the array values. It will give me 150. Here also we can set the initial value as 100. If I write here after the comma, if I write 100, what will happen? It will give the output as 115. But there is a twist here. What happens? Let me write here the return accumulator plus value. Okay, now what will happen? Here there 100 is already there. Okay, accumulator will actually have this 100 for the first time now. Earlier when I didn't write anything, it was taking it as 0 actually. When I write 0, that means writing 0 and not writing anything is same. Okay, so as I told you, first the 0 value was going to accumulator, then accumulator starts from first value. Now what will happen if I put 100 here? I am saying that no, don't take the first value as accumulator. I am saying take 100 as accumulator. Now what will happen? Accumulator will take 100, value will take the first value, it will not take the second value. Okay, so I am writing accumulator plus value. That means what is accumulator for the first time? 100. What is value for the first time? 1. 100 plus 1 is 101. Okay, so for the first time 100 plus 1 is 101. Okay, next time what will happen? What is the value of accumulator?
100.
101. Next time accumulator is 101. It has changed, isn't it? And what is the value?
2.
So it will be 101 plus 2. Next time what is the value of accumulator plus value?
103.
103 plus
Plus 3.
3. That is 106. Then what will be next time? 106 plus
4.
4. 110. Then 110 plus
5.
5. So we got 115, right? That is the desired output. We wanted that, isn't it? So if I save this, go to the browser and reload, I got 115. Okay. So this is how the initial value that we pass after the function matters. But do we really need that? We have seen both the ways, but do we really need that? If we want to find the sum of n numbers, we don't need that. Only if there is a condition that no, the initial value should be 100, initial value should be 500, only then we will use this. Okay, otherwise we will use it without the initial value. Okay, that is not needed. But there is a very special case of that initial value. I'll show you, but just before that, let us do some see some practice examples on this reduce method. Okay, so here we had, so here I think I have in some questions I have already given the name as reduce, like see, reduce each element of the array by 25% and store it in a separate array. This can be done with map method, this can be done with filter as well. Each element, okay, so here I'm not saying to add it. Okay, no need then sum can be done. Anything else is there? Okay, nothing is there. So if I want to do something like sum of the squares of the given numbers, then what can be done? Accumulator plus value to the power 2. What will happen? Accumulator value first time is
1.
So here we need the, so accumulator value is 1, so it is not squaring the 1, so that is not required. So what we can do is we can put 0 here. So what will happen? Accumulator value is 0 now. So then what will happen? Value will be 1 for the first time. So 1 square plus 0 will give you 1. Then 1 square plus 2 square will give you 5. Then 5 plus 3 square 9. 9 plus 5 is 14. 14 plus 16 is 30. 30 plus 25 is 55. Right? So I should get 55 in the output. Okay, that is fine. So this way, for sum, whenever we need to find the sum and all those things, we'll use the reduce. We can not only the sum, actually we can find a product as well. Do you know? Product of all the elements in the array. This will work, isn't it? Accumulator into value. So instead of this 0, I don't pass anything. It will do 1 into that, 2 into that, 3 into that, right? So what will be the product of all these things? 5 into 4, 20, 3 into 20, 60, 6 into 2, 120, 120 into 1 is 120. So the output should be, oh, what happens? Sum. So I have to write here product. So I got 120. So this way, multiplication, addition, whenever we are compressing the thing, we can use the reduce method. Okay. Okay. Now there is a problem with small problem with array of objects. What happens in array of objects? So let's start with the forEach map filter methods. Okay, we'll start from all those things. We have seen with arrays what can be done. Everything is fine. Now we'll do the same thing with array of objects. Okay, already an array of objects assignment we have done, isn't it? So now let's go to array of objects and see what happens in array of objects. Okay, we'll take a simple array of objects and so we'll try to do some of these questions. Now let me take this whole array. So we have the array of objects. Now what is the first? Print all the first names. What can be done? Which method is to be used? Is it filter? Is it filter? I am asking yes or no. Is it filter? When do we use filter? What? So to print all the first name, do I need if condition? Why?
Yes.
Why do we need the if condition for printing the first name?
We need only first names. For that, we write a if condition.
What if condition? To print all the first names, what did you do? Why do you need the if condition? My question is that if condition is used for checking a condition. Why do we need to check condition? What condition do I have to check? Okay, let's say we need to write if. Inside the if, what I will write? Inside the if, what I should write? The question, have you seen the question or not? My thing is there. What is the question? The question is print all the first names. So then what is the if condition? What is the condition to write the first
First
name.
People of I dot first name.
So what is that? What is people of I dot first name? People of I dot first name. Is that a condition? What is the meaning of condition? Condition means it should return true or false. People of I dot first name. Then people of I dot first name is a string. Ria, Nikhil, this is a string. This is not returning true or false. In if condition, what do we write? We write AR of I mod 2 equal to 0. That gives us true or false. If it is even, it will give us true. If it is false, it will give us false. But this is not a conditional statement. It is not giving us true or false. Then that is not the thing. I am asking whether we need the if condition or not. To print the first names, why do we need the if condition? I write simple for loop where I is equal to 0, I less than or equal to people dot length minus 1, and then I plus plus. And then I do console dot log of AR of I dot, oh sorry, people of I dot
First name.
first name. So this is giving me all the first names in the output. I don't need an if condition here. There is no need of if condition. Then why are you saying we need an if condition? So for doing this, what we can do is we can either use the forEach method or the map method. But again, so whenever you have to do something like this, you have to always think about forEach and map, because this is just iteration. Now you have to think what is the difference between forEach and map?
In the
It
map,
returns
it
an
will
Map
array.
check
will
for
give
it.
the result and
A result as an array. It will return the result as an array. But in the question, are they talking about any array? Do they need any array in the output?
only
What is that?
strings.
Only strings. So that means we don't need to use the map method. We'll go with the forEach method. This way you have to analyze this question. Okay, when whatever question you are getting, you have to analyze it. Is there an if condition? No. Then remove the filter method from your brain. Just think about forEach and map. Then again think, is the output an array? No. Then remove the map method as well. Only forEach. Okay. Okay. So what I'll do here is people dot forEach. Okay. People dot forEach. Inside the forEach, what I have to do? I have to pass the function. What will be inside the function? Value index array. What is the value? Now tell me, what is the value in this for the first time?
Age.
Whole
First object
this
role.
first object will be the value. Okay, value means each element of the array. This is known as one element of the array. How many elements are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 elements are there. So for the first time value will be this, second time value will be this, third time value will be this, and so on. Last time value will be this. Okay, an index, it will start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Array means the whole array, whole people array of objects. Okay, fine. So people dot forEach, if I write console dot log of value, what I will get?
First object.
First
Why first object? This is a forEach method, na?
The
forEach means it
initial
will loop. forEach means
Last object.
Why last object? What did we see in the earlier case when I wrote where AR equal to when I write where AR is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I write here AR dot forEach, and I wrote here function. Just few minutes ago we have seen that value comma index comma array. When I wrote here console.log of value, what did I get in the output?
15.
Huh?
15.
Why 15? I get
1,
each
2, 3,
value.
4, 5.
Okay.
I get each value. Value means each value, and it is a loop. Whenever I read for each, whenever I write map, filter, whatever it is, for each map, filter, it will execute 5 times. If there are 10 elements, it will execute 10 times. So value is changing from 1 to 5. Okay. So now my question is, what will happen here? What will it print when I write console.log of value?
All elements.
All elements. What are elements? The objects. Each object it will print, isn't it? Save it, go to the browser and reload. We got all the objects. First name Praveen, last name Gopala, first name Srikanth, last name Gopala, first name Pradeep, first name Monica, first name Nikhil, and Ria. All objects I got in the output. Okay. This is what we got. Okay. Fine. Now what I need to do? I want only first name. So what do I do?
Value dot first name.
Value dot first name. Okay, that is also correct. So I get Praveen, Srikanth, Pradeep, Monica, Nikhil, Ria. Okay, we can do that as well. And also what I can do, value dot first name is the correct way, but we can do something like this also. Value of index dot first name. What you did earlier, people of 0 dot first name. We used to write like that, right? So people of index dot first name will give you also the same thing. Okay, because the index value will change. For the first time it is 0, so next time it is 1, like that. Okay, but this is better. We need to write less. Value dot first name. Okay, fine. Then print all the full names. I hope that can be done. Okay, print only those names whose age is more than 25. So which method I should use?
If
For each
condition.
map.
Filter.
So there is
Condition.
if condition means we need to
Filter.
use the filter. Then when you get that, okay, there is an if condition, don't think about any other method, only think about filter. Okay, so what I will write here, people dot filter. But the moment I write filter, I have to use another value where the array will be stored, because filter will return an array. Okay, so where what do I write? So again, without using the filter also this can be done. So using, first you have to do with forEach. Okay, inside the forEach you have to write condition, because here also they are not asking about any array, isn't it? So you can go with forEach as well, there is no problem in it. So if what, if value dot age greater than
25.
25, then
Print.
console dot log of value dot first name. Are you getting it? Value dot age is greater than 25, only then print the value dot first name. So what I will get here, I got Praveen and Srikanth. Okay, but if you use filter method, what will happen? It will be in an array. So let's say where what do I write? Where age 25 is equal to, so that is the variable name. Okay, where the new array will be stored. So people dot filter, and inside the filter we don't write any if condition, we just write return and then the condition. What is the condition? value dot age greater than 25, and we have to print the age 25. Okay, so console.log of age 25. So what is this age 25? This is a string number or what? How, what is variable name, but that will store what? It will store number, string, or
Array.
what? Array. Age 25 is an array because filter method will always return an array. What will this array contain? Now tell me. Praveen and Srikant, isn't it? So save this, go to the browser, reload. We got one array. This array is having two objects. First object is Praveen, Gubbala and all those things, and second object is Srikant and all those. Okay. In real time, you will not use this with forEach because in real time you don't need the first name. We need the whole details. Okay. When in Flipkart, I go to cloth section, and when I click on filter on jeans, it is giving me all the jeans, right? It is not only giving the brand name. If it says only Spiker, Killer, Pepe, then what will you do? We need all details, na? When I say jeans, it should show me, okay, Roadster brand, picture of the jeans, price of the jeans, how much discount is there, every details I want, na? It should not show me t-shirt. It will show me jeans with all the details. Only if it is giving price, then what will you do? The picture is not there. That is not useful, na? So that thing is done by forEach. Only picture, only data. But if you use filter method, it will give you one array of objects. So many jeans will come. All the jeans will, all the details. Okay. When you put size as 32, when you put size 32, all jeans with size 32 will come with all the details, price, discount, everything. So filter method is necessary in such cases. Okay. So in those filters, so that's why it is known as filter. That is actually filter method. Okay. In all e-commerce application, all these things are just filter methods. Okay. Fine. So this way, A is greater than 25 we have found out. Now, next, print all female names. What can be done here? Print all female names. Which method?
forEach.
forEach. Yes, it can be done with forEach. That is not a problem. But here I want as an object, right? All objects I want. Then I have to use the filter. forEach will give you inside the forEach. If you write if condition, it will give you the names. Okay. So the question is print all female names. So that can be satisfied with forEach. Okay. But if you want all the details about those female candidates, then you have to use the filter method. So in the condition, what we have to write? We have to write here value dot gender a triple equal to female. Okay. So it will give you two objects inside an array, which are Monica and Ria. Okay, we got two objects, Monica and Ria, only the female names. Then print only those names whose city is Hyderabad. So that means value dot city is equal to Hyderabad. So I got two, Praveen and Pradeep, whose cities are Hyderabad. Then so we'll come to this. Okay, print all the first names whose salary is more than 25,000. So here you will use the forEach method because it is telling us to print the first names, not the whole array. Okay. Then print all names whose city is Hyderabad. That is done. All the cities in which the people live. Okay, this can be done. Print all the male names whose age is greater than 25. Okay. So these are all forEach. Okay. Now the last example and the most important here is the total salary. What method will use? Total salary. What is the last method? Reduce. Okay. So we'll use the reduce here, but there is a twist here. Here we have to use that accumulator initial value. Otherwise, what happens? Just see here. Here we have the array of objects, right? Now let's say where total salary is equal to people dot reduce of, what will reduce take? It will take one function. The function will have accumulator, then value, then index, then array. 4 things are there. Okay. Now let us do this without the initial value. Okay, what happens? What is the error? What is the problem? Why do we need the initial value here? So first, what do I write? Return accumulator plus
Value.
but value is object na. Value dot salary. Are you getting it? Return accumulator plus value dot salary. There is the problem. Initially, in our when we took the array of numbers, what was the accumulator taking for the first time? First value. What is the first value here? First object. So what it will try to do? First object. See, in the number array of numbers, what it was doing? It was doing accumulator plus value. That means accumulator is first value plus value of the second value. So here what will happen? Accumulate. I am writing here accumulator plus value dot salary. So what will happen? Accumulator is this plus value is this. Value dot salary is 20,000. So it will try to add object plus 20,000. So that will give error, isn't it? You can't write accumulator dot salary. So let's see what will happen here. So it will it should give us undefined, not a number, something like that. Okay. So did I do console dot log out? Okay. Total salary. So we get object 20,000, 25,000, 30,000, 20,000, 40,000. So it is just concatenating. Okay. So that's why we need the initial value. So what I will write here, initial value should be what? 0. So the moment I put the initial value, accumulator will become what? 0. What will value become? Not first object. First object salary. That means because I am writing here value dot salary, na? Value will become first object. That is correct. Accumulator will become 0. Value will become first object. But I am not adding the first object. I am adding value dot salary. So now tell me, what will be this accumulator plus value dot salary for the first time? 0 plus
10,000.
First object salary.
first object salary is 10,000. Okay, so accumulator will become now 10,000. Next time what will happen? 10,000 plus 20,000. So like this, 10,000 plus 20,000 plus 25,000 plus 30,000, 2,000, 40,000. So what will be the total salary? 10,000 plus 20,000 is 30,000. 30 plus 25 is 55. 55 plus 30 is 85. 85 plus 2 is 87. 87. So save this, go to the browser, reload. I got 1,27,000. Okay. So that's why the accumulator initial value is important for array of objects. For normal arrays, normally we can do. Okay. But for array of objects, that is mandatory, must. Okay. In the array of numbers, if you put 0, then also it is correct. In the array of numbers also, even if you put this 0, that is correct. It will start from the first number and it will add the 0 in the beginning. That's it. Okay. So this can be done for all those. So salary I have already shown, right? So this way you can use the reduce method for this, and I think all the these methods are discussed. Anything more can be done here? Okay, I'll show you two more methods. Okay, one is known as sum and one is known as every. Okay, map, filter and reduce is very important, but sum and every is also important. So what happens there, I'll show you. There is something called array dot sum. Okay, so now let me ask you something. Is there any person whose salary is below 10,000? Huh?
Yes.
Who's
Nikhil.
Nikhil? Nikhil is having a salary of
Nikhil and Riya. Sorry,
uh,
only Nikhil.
only Nikhil, isn't it? So how do you do that? How do you find that? So what is the question? Is there anyone who is having salary less than 10,000? So what is the answer I am expecting? True or false? Yes or no? That's it, isn't it? I am not asking the name of the person. I am asking, is there anyone? So that means the answer should be true or false. Okay. Okay. Fine. So normally without whatever we know till now, how you will do that? If you want to do that, what can be done?
If condition.
See here. If condition will be there.
Less than 10,000.
So less than 10, but how will you get the true or false?
Count, increasing count, then
That is the thing. So we need to put a count. Okay. So where count is equal to 0. Okay. Now people dot, let me use the for each. We don't need any array, no? We can use the for each. People dot for each on function will be there. In the function, what we have? Value, index and array. So when we are not using the index and array, we can remove that actually. We can write only the value as well. Okay. We don't need the index, then we can remove it. Okay. And if we use the index, so let's say here we'll be using the if condition. Okay, let's see. If we need the index, only then we'll add the index in the parameter. Okay, otherwise no need. So I'll write the only the value. So what is value? Value means each object now. Okay, there is no index, there is no array. Okay, fine. So people dot for each, if value
dot salary.
Dot salary less than 10,000, then what is to be done?
Count plus plus.
Count plus plus. Okay. Now what will happen? After the loop is complete, I have to check the condition. So if count is greater than 0, then return true. Or I'll just write console.log true. Otherwise, it will not print it, right? So console.log of true. Else console.log of false. Okay. So anyone is having salary less than 10,000, it will give me true. Let's check this. I'm getting true because someone is having salary less than 10,000. But if I make this 20,000, what will happen? It is checked. It will check. So count value will never increase because no one is having the salary less than 10,000. So count will remain at 0. So it will give us false here. Okay. Now just see how much code I have written. We have written so much, isn't it? Okay. So for that, what can be done? We have a method called sum. Okay. Sum means if even if some of them is matching the condition, it will return true false. Okay. Just see where is, so I'll make it some better name. Okay, is salary less than 10K? Okay, this is the variable name. I'm giving a big variable name. Is salary less than 10K? What is the answer? True or false? I'm asking, right? Is salary less than 10K? So answer should be true or false. So I'll make it again 2000. Okay, now see, this value is equal to people, that is the array name, people dot sum. Okay, people dot sum. Here we'll have the callback function. So callback function is this. Here I can put the value. I don't need the index and array, so I'll ignore it for now. And here, what do? I return the condition. What is the condition? What is the if condition? If value dot salary less than 10,000. Okay. Okay. And then so the true or false will be stored in where? Where? Is salary less than 10K will hold. See, when I put my mouse over it, it is saying Boolean. Can you see? Automatically VS Code, Visual Studio Code is very smart nowadays. They just see the value, what you are assigning. According to that, it will tell you. So if I put my mouse over sum, it will tell me return value is Boolean. Somewhere it will be written. See, Boolean, it is saying. At the end, it is saying Boolean. That means the return type. Colon Boolean means it is the return type. Okay. So now I'll do console.log of is salary less than 10K. Save it, go to the browser, reload. I'm getting true. If I put it 20,000, I'm getting false. So only this much of code is enough. Okay, for checking if any one of them is matching the condition or not. Okay, that is one thing. Now there is another question. Is everyone having salary more than 10,000? If I make it, let it state 2,000. I'm asking, is everyone having salary more than 10,000?
False.
False.
How do I check that? Using forEach. Count will be there, that is sure. Okay, but what can be done? People dot forEach function value. Okay, so what I have to check is the value greater than 10,000, isn't it? So if value dot salary greater than 10,000, then I have to increase the count plus plus. Okay, now what will happen? Suppose all are having salary more than 10,000. Suppose this is also 20,000. That means what? What will be the count value? See, total 6 objects are there. So that means count will become 6 if all are having above 10,000. If 5 are having 10,000, what will be the value of count? 5. But our condition is to check where our question is to check whether all are having 10,000 or not, greater than 10,000 or not. So that means the value is 6. So what is 6 with respect to the array? What is 6 for the array?
Length.
Is there any relation? Length. If count is equal to array dot length, that means return true, otherwise false. Are you getting it? When all are not having more than 10,000, the value of count will be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or maybe 0 also. Isn't it? So that means it is less than array dot length, right? Okay. So now what I will do here is, if count equal to people dot length, then console dot log of true, Okay, if it is equal, count is equal to 6, then it is true, else console.log of false if it is not matching. So now what I will get in the output, I'm getting false. Why? Because this is 10,000, it is not greater than 10,000. Okay, so let me make it 12,000. Now all the conditions are matching, so the count value will be what? 6.
6.
Count value will become 6, so I am getting true. Okay, so this can be done with every method, every. Okay, so is all salary more than 10k is equal to, oh, where I missed, so you don't need the count, we'll have a where here. So people dot every function value return, we have to return the condition. What is the condition? Value dot salary greater than 10,000, and I have to console.log what is salary more than 10k. I'm getting true. If I make this 4,000, I'm getting false. So sum is matching only one of them, every is matching all of them. Okay, so these are the methods, array iteration methods, that are the most important. Okay, there are a lot more are there, but we will work on them when we work on projects. Array, for array of objects especially, there are a lot of more, like array.find, array.find index, like that. So many methods are there, but those are not necessary now. These are enough for now. We'll see that later on. Okay, okay, fine. So what is to be done is, I will share the array of objects assignments. Whatever assignments I had shared earlier, I'll share the same array of objects assignment again, and I'll give see here, check whether any one of them are from Bangalore. Okay, check whether all people are having salaries more than or equal to 10,000. These kind of questions are there. Let me see some more array of objects. Array of objects, what is this? Okay, so here some string methods are also there. Okay, now you are comfortable with string methods, right? So you can work on string methods as well. Then simple to, what is there? Okay, this can be done. And one more is there, I think, array of objects. Okay, fine, I'll check and give you the files. Okay, so we have to apply for each wherever needed, map wherever needed, filter and reduce, as well as sum and every. Okay, but these questions is must, this thing. This one is must. First you have to complete this, only then go to the array of objects. Okay, first you complete all these things. Now you don't care about what is yellow, what is red, do everything. Earlier it was different. In all the files, some lines will be yellow, some lines will be red. Now you have to do yellow, red, white, everything. Okay, 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 then I'll end the session here. See you tomorrow.